Frank Mitchell. I'm a nephew of Uncle Dick. I was very pleased when Tim asked me to share a few of my remembrances today. I had already thought of the words that best describe my memories of Uncle Dick when I learned he passed away. Kindness, warmth, caring, devotion to Pam and Tim, and especially to Aunt Jessie. But most of all, I remember a sense of humor that relaxed me, everyone around him, and made us laugh and really feel good about ourselves. In that, he was a master. Apart from family functions, I recall Uncle Dick when I went to see him, as he was my optometrist. I first got glasses when I was about 12. And I came face to face with him in the examination chair. Very difficult place to be when he told a joke or did something that made you laugh. But I look forward to my eye examinations, and I'm still looking for a dentist like that. About 1967, Uncle Dick's practice on King Street in Hamilton was expropriated so they could build the Jackson Square Mall. My brother and I helped him move all his unnecessary files and equipment back to his house on Earl Crescent in Burlington. Everything was put away in the garage or basement. I never saw him emotional about it, but I'm sure it was a blow to him, as his practice was more than fragmented, and he now had trips to Dundas and Brantford to fill out his schedule. His home office, finally, was located in the New Eaton store off James Street. There's a significance to this, and you'll find out as we go on. I next recall when I graduated from university, actually, my wife and I, we moved to Burlington, and we started to get closer and closer with the Burns family, especially Uncle Dick and Aunt Jessie. And as I recently married, but I had no house, and the one thing getting out of university, I couldn't see how I could sit and watch TV. And I decided to buy an antique car as a hobby. Having no house, I asked Uncle Dick, because they were the closest. They did have a garage. If I could park this car in the garage for a short time. But he immediately said yes. He was very gracious about that. But the one thing he didn't say was when I went to put the car in the garage, it was full, jammed full. He never used it as a garage. So he helped me though, but we took a weekend to move enough stuff out of the way to make room for this car. But along the way, I saw the equipment and the files that we had taken out 9 years previously from his office. And I often wondered what Aunt Jessie really thought about not having a garage for use in their car, and then I came along and right away it was offered to me. And I spent many nights wondering about the car sitting in the garage with all this extra stuff hanging over it. And it made me realize that I had to get a house right away. So the first thing I did in the spring was buy a house. And Uncle Dick had a way of giving advice to you. In January of 1978, there was a severe storm coming off Lake Ontario. Blizzard conditions, winds of 50 miles an hour. Our plant closed at 2 p.m. and myself and two workmates had decided to travel to Burlington and to make it home. We made it as far as Guelph Line exit off the QEW when we were hit from behind by a Canada Coach bus. My Pontiac was destroyed, but the three of us in the car, it was only two of us that had sustained light injuries, some cuts, but we had to go to Joe Brandt and for some stitches. There was no room, after we got finished, there was no room for us, but So they gave us a pamphlet and about head injuries, and the line in the darkest ink was no alcohol for 24 hours. So we had to leave, and we went out. We got about 50 yards and said, there's no way we're going to make it. We were going to walk to Uncle Dick's house. That was the closest from the hospital. I hated to call him, but when I did, he immediately dug out his car and came and got us. And then when we got to his house, Aunt Jessie was preparing this dinner, especially because there was a guest. And then Uncle Dick took me into the files that we brought back in 1967 and got me a pair of glass frames. And we taped the test lenses to them so I could watch TV that night. So again, that equipment from 1967 came back for use. Uncle Dick, Aunt Jessie, my ex-wife Alba, and I met regularly from 1975 to 86. We had lots of dinners and spent evenings together. And my mom and dad joined in when they came back on their two-month furlough from Spain. But in this time, Uncle Dick had joined the Burlington Light Opera, and we attended most of his shows. I love live theater, and those nights were especially exciting to me because we actually knew somebody in the cast. But I really enjoyed watching Dick greet the people. The cast would come out into the lobby and mingle with the guest or the guests, and it was fun to watch people come up to him, say hello or whatever, share a joke again, and it made the evenings really special. That was also part of his magic touch. My uncle had a rich voice, and I was accustomed to it because my dad was also a singer, and there were a few nights that we went out and tried to look for a place to sing. Most of them were British pubs, but once you got in there, it wasn't like a modern karaoke. Everybody joined in, so everybody's voice got drowned out. And I have often thought about the British pubs and singing and that, and I wish today we had an opportunity to go to a karaoke where it was just individuals singing, and there would have been a lot more memories if that had happened. What a life. We lived to have, he lived to have made so many people happy and to have such an impact that we all have our special memories of him. Thank you.